Have you ever experienced racism in soccer?
I don't think I have explicitly. Well, okay, I have not personally, but in coaching, I have heard of a story where somebody has. So I coach varsity girls soccer, and I know one of our opponents a couple years back was Mills High School, and I do know on 2 occasions they had a Arab Muslim girl who wore the hijab while she played, and the referee who showed up told her she needed to take that thing off her head or she was not allowed to participate. And there are no rules against being able to wear the hijab, like where in high school for sure. I know FIFA's discussed it a little bit, but then went back and allowed it. And then the school was really upset. The girl, after a whole big thing, she was allowed to play, but they asked that referee not ref their games again, because when he told her, he did it in like a very rude way and in front of everybody. So while I haven't personally experienced it, I know stories that's like a local story in the school we compete against. I know that happened.
What is your opinion on racism in soccer?
I think it's really prevalent in Europe, which I think is really interesting. Although, I mean, I think in all sports, people tend to have stereotypes of like who might be better athletes or not. I mean, I think in the United States, there's a stereotype that Latino males are better than other athletes when it comes to soccer. I don't think that's necessarily true, but in terms of like really explicit, like crazy outward acts, I think it's really prevalent there, and I think it's really sad because out of all sports in the world, soccer is the most international sport, and you'd think it would really be an avenue to bring people together, and it hasn't been.
What ways do you think racism can be solved?
I think that when it comes to something like racism in sports, just like racism in society, that really it is like a cultural shift that needs to happen. And culture shifts happen on big scales through education, and that happens at a very young age. And so until different societies in our own society really realize that and realize that like racism isn't just an individual thing, it is something, it is a cultural phenomena in our society. People think it cannot be solved, but it's like it can if we want it to be and if we stop perpetuating it. So I know I'm a parent of young children, so I think it is incumbent upon me and my responsibility to make sure that they grow up not really judging or looking, and when they ask questions that I answer those, but that they understand, all people are humans, and it really shouldn't matter what their ethnic or racial background is.
Do you think racism affects the beautiful game?
I do. I mean, I think that when you have these incidences where people are being called monkey or bananas are being thrown at them, that it hurts the integrity of the game. I think it hurts those players. It hurts the team and just the spirit of how beautiful of a game soccer actually is.
Why do you think people resort to racism during a game?
I don't know, maybe out of frustration if the other team is winning. I mean, I think even though soccer is big here, like in youth, in terms of a professional or very competitive sport, it's not at the level it is around the rest of the world. And I think people get upset and don't believe that, athletes of certain races or ethnicities should be as good as they do. And so then those fans take it out on them. So it would be my guess.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.